The South African government, headed by Electricity and Energy Minister Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, is leading a delegation to the South Africa-China Electricity and Energy Investment Conference. The purpose of the mission is to present a curated, investment-ready pipeline of electricity and energy infrastructure opportunities to Chinese counterparts, and also to secure structured engagement on financing, technology, partnerships and project development. For more on this, let's cross now to SABC News reporter Katlego Legodi, who's in China. Katlego, good morning. So a very interesting and also a very prominent discussion at the moment, given especially the high price of electricity, something that the Minister of Electricity has acceded to. So talk to us about this conference and, of course, what we can expect.
Well, a very good morning to you, Sakina, and to our viewers at home. You're right. This is where then these projects will come in terms of ensuring that they come through with job creation. At the same time, they bring down the high price of electricity. This is as per the Integrated Resource Plan 2025 that is here to present a 2.3 trillion rand in investment opportunities where infrastructure on our energy is concerned at home. So we see Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa leading a delegation here, Sakina, a delegation made out of government officials. DERCO is here, Department of Trade, Industry and Competition is here. We have the premiers of the provinces of Limpopo, Western Cape, Northern Cape. They are here to push through some of these conversations in terms of this pipeline of opportunities where South Africa is concerned. The minister is saying and is upbeat about South Africa now moving into implementation phase as per these projects, which is why he also involved the DBSA, the Development Bank of Southern Africa. They're also here, but also at the same time, we have Eskom. They are very, very pivotal in terms of being a key player where our energy reform is concerned. And I'm going to bring into the conversation with us this morning, Sakina, the CEO of Eskom, Mr. Dan Marokane, who'll just reflect with us. Earlier on, we saw the minister leading a delegation to the National Administration of China, where energy is concerned. We also see the meetings taking place at Power China as well, and these are conversations that did not just start this year, so they're ongoing conversations, but this time around we are coming through to say electricity is stable in the country. We now need to move into projects as per the IRP 2025. Welcome to the SABC. How important are these conversations here, and how do they help men and women at home that are looking to Eskom, for instance, to come through, for instance, on the high prices of electricity? Welcome to the SABC, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Katlego, you'll recall that the plans for energy security in the country really rested on multiple approaches. The first one was to stabilize the operations of Eskom, and once that is achieved, you are able to then build on top of that the diverse generation technologies that will also assist the country in reducing emissions, but also provide enough electricity to drive the much needed economic growth. What have we seen to date? We have seen the recovery of Eskom's performance. In the last week, we have actually seen fantastic performance of the EAF being above 80% on one of the 2 days. We have actually seen the EAF being above 73% at about 70% of our stations. So now that the base load capacity is stabilizing, we need to move swiftly with the implementation of the Integrated Resource Plan so that we never get back to a point of energy insufficiency. The trip here is primarily to promote the investment book, the pipeline of projects that give meaning to actual execution of the IRP 2025. And Chinese companies, Chinese government has been very close to South Africa. A lot of Chinese EPCs are in the country. Chinese funders have always looked for opportunities to support this big program in South Africa, and the intention here, led by the DE, is to really showcase what opportunities are there. Yeah.
We know very well that the minister, for instance, was talking about the special economic zones that exist at home, data centers that will need to be built as per this IRP, hydro energy that will need to tap into as well where South Africa is concerned. Maybe just give us a sense of where Eskom fits in terms of this future, especially where diversity of this energy sector is concerned.
You will recall that very recently we launched Eskom Green. Eskom Green will be a vehicle through which Eskom participates in the RP 2025. We'll participate through the construction of the pump hydro in Tubatsu. We've spoken about this before. We'll participate through the construction of wind and storage, solar PV as well, and we'll also participate through nuclear build. We'll participate through gas to power. We've signed the user terminal rights about 2 months ago with the ZET in KZN. So we are an active participant in the implementation of the integrated resource plan. We are here as part of that big portfolio to showcase our pipelines to the investors here.
The jobs, people at home want to see these jobs created at a large, fast pace, looking at where we find ourselves right now with an unemployment crisis at home. But something else that has been of development would be the issue of the unbundling of Eskom. We see the president coming through with this task team. The task team has finished him with a report that would give him a sense of the viability of splitting Eskom, especially where transmission is concerned. But what do you make of where we find ourselves now? And do you reckon that Eskom is ready for this split?
Look, the reforms and the unbundling of Eskom is actually part of the reforms that were announced way back in 2017-18. So what you are seeing now is the implementation of the reform roadmap itself. The RP falls within that space itself. The unbundling and the setting up of the TSO is part of that process. Work is underway in ensuring that we can prepare the country for a reformed landscape, and in a process we take care of all other facets of making sure that we have what effectively becomes a functional market post the reforms interventions. They take time, but due care is being given at each and every of the stages as we proceed. And we've said this repeatedly as Eskom. We understand where we need to go. The reforms are what we support, and we will attend to the finer details of implementation.
Mr. Marokane, let me let you go. Thank you very much for giving us your time on the SABC, the Eskom CEO, just giving us a sense of the role that they're going to be playing here in the coming week. And you hear him talking about how they don't want to be left behind as we see South Africa moving through with this reform agenda, diversifying the energy space, but also that coming through as we hear the promises of jobs, but also of bringing the prices of electricity down. It's still early in the day, so we're expecting for this conference to get underway any moment from now.